family. Talk with someone on our team. We will investigate your problem to determine the facts and the law. Working together, we can develop a plan to obtain the result you deserve.
88. Your current Simply Bank temperature is 74 degrees.
This Mix 1041 weather forecast is sponsored by Life Care Center of Cleveland, celebrating more than 45 years of serving the needs of the aging community. Life Care Center of Cleveland.
Lifetime certified.
My dad says our new Linux system saves energy.
Well, saving energy means saving money.
A lot of money?
Yep.
Time for a raise in my allowance.
Savings year after year.
A big raise.
Call today for perfect air you can feel in your home and savings you can feel in your wallet.
Lennox. Air is life. Make it perfect.
Call Dale's Heating and Air today.
Need a metal roof for your home or business? Come see us at Best Buy Metals, a leading manufacturer of metal roofing products. Looking for great service? Check. Want to choose from a wide variety of metal roofing products? Check. How about complimentary takeoffs and free estimates for commercial and residential projects? Check and check. From small orders to semi-loads, we've got you covered. Literally. Best Buy Metals. Quality roofing that lasts a lifetime. Come see us today.
Sports Desk, CHI Memorial, imagine better health. Mets over the Braves last night, 6-4, game one of the four-game set. Mets up now 4.5 games in the National League Eastern Division. Braves at the Mets tonight, 7:10 first pitch right here, Mix 104.1, driven by Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland. Speaking of Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland, here's a reminder. If you purchase any new Nissan now through Monday, I'm going to turn the music down. This is so big. You get free gas for a year. You heard me right. And there it is. If you're watching MixTV.tv right now, there it is. And Thomas Williams, who was sending me, Bridget, some awful messages last night during our election coverage, trying to throw me off, just like the devil would, trying to bring me down. But I will not go down. Because I'm going to talk to Garry Thurman here in just a second. Now, Gary's encouraging, but Thomas Williams was trying to drag me down last night on our election coverage.
Can you read his messages?
I can't.
Oh, come on.
I'm asking where he goes to church. I know where he goes. Obviously, they're not getting it done. Free gas with a new Nissan purchase through Monday. So it's going to end on Monday. Go to cleveland-nissan.com. NFL Hall of Fame game was last night. Whew. You know how depressing it is to go from the greatest play-by-play man of all time, Al Michaels, to Mike Tirico? Oh, dear Lord. The mute button will be in full effect at the Heartline House. Ugh. Gross. Ugh. And then Chris Collinsworth. Ugh. I mean, we used to have Al Michaels and John Madden, for God's sake. See, now I'm tired this morning, folks, and I just about to let loose here in a second. But you're about to think you're listening to Howard Stern Show. Anyway, but here, hey, listen, tomorrow at noon on ESPN and the NFL Network, what a class. Dick Vermeil going into the Hall of Fame tomorrow. Oh, I love Dick Vermeil. I love Bryant Young, those 49er teams with Joe Montana. Tony Baselli, Cliff Branch, Leroy Butler, Sam Mills, Richard Seymour. What a class tomorrow. That'll be fun, noon. They did move up the Hall of Fame. Used to be at night. That'll be at noon on ESPN.
Stroke is the number
All right, and we'll do that in just a second. Hey, we've got our buddy Garry Thurman on with us right now from Guardian Investment Advisors. Garry, good morning.
Steve, good morning to you. Sounds like you had a long night last night. Some people were picking on you, brother.
Well, we were up about 1 a.m. With our election coverage wrapped up at about 11 o'clock last night. And I know that Guardian Investment Advisors was proud to be involved last evening.
Absolutely. I know you guys had a big night, man, so thank you for letting us be involved in that.
Oh, that was great. Well, there's a lot to talk about. First of all, let me just remind everyone, our buddy Garry Thurman, Guardian Investment Advisors, and his great show tomorrow at 11 o'clock on Mix 104.1. Talk. I'm sorry, Gary. 9 o'clock on 9 o'clock on Mix and Talk 101.3 The Buzz anytime. MixTV.tv. The jobs report, Gary, and the impact on the market. What do you make of it?
Well, I mean, that's what the markets are waiting for this morning. They're kind of holding idle, waiting for that new job report to come out. And it looks like, from the numbers I'm seeing, that we added about 260,000 new jobs in July, which has our employment rate down to 3.6. So, I mean, we'll see what happens when that report comes out, how the markets, revolve around it. It could be a positive or a negative. But that's why they're kind of holding idle before the market opens this morning at 9:30.
All right. And you know what? A lot of eyes on that, Gary.
Well, a lot of eyes are on that. And then another thing that a lot of eyes on are these rate increases we're getting from the Fed. We've had 4 rate increases in 2022, Steve, and they're doing that to try to beat inflation. I get it. But they're talking about more to come. So we might see our interest rates going up even more throughout 2022. The 2 rate increases we had in June and July of 0.75%, that's the largest we've seen since 1994. So these interest rates are a big deal right now, especially with our buying power and what we're trying to get involved in. People trying to buy new homes and different things like that. So we got to keep our eye on that and see how that impacts the markets as well.
Joined by Garry Thurman, Guardian Investment Advisors. And then, Gary, people talking recession, they're worried about recession or worried about a recession. So what can people do?
Well, Steve, you said the name of our show earlier, Plan Today, Own Tomorrow. It's all about planning. I think if you're someone 60 and above and you're headed into retirement or you're already in retirement, you need to really make sure that you have a solid plan put together that's going to keep up with this inflation. It's going to keep up with high interest rates, and here's the big one: it's going to keep up with higher taxes because that's coming down the road. So I think anybody out there listening today, if you just your portfolio is just sitting out there and it's not being managed properly, and you don't have a plan in place, to me that's the number one key. Make sure you work with someone that is going to put a great plan together for you.
And Garry Thurman can do that for you, as he's doing for a lot of people in Cleveland, Bradley County, all over the area. Gary, how can people reach out to you, buddy?
Yeah, just give us a phone call, 423-710-9199, or go to our website, giaplantoday.com. Some great information there on the website.
And don't forget, Garry, the big show tomorrow, as you just talked about, right here on our family of radio stations, as well as your television program. So remind us about all that.
Yeah, so we've got our radio show, Plan Today on tomorrow, and then we also have our TV show that you can see on Mix TV, Plan Today on tomorrow. So lots of ways to check us out on the radio, on the Buzz, and on Mix, and then on Mix TV. And, of course, I always tell folks, sometimes, Steve, it's hard for people to catch us on the radio. So you can always go to our website and go to the media tab and our podcast that we have on there. That's basically our radio show without commercials. So if you call a show and you miss part of it, go back and watch it there. Or you can see all of our TV shows on the website as well. GIAPlantoday.com. Garry Thurman. Gary, great to talk to you, but we'll talk to you next week. All right, buddy. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Garry Thurman, Guardian Investment Advisors. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by the winner of the State District 1 Republican primary, Adam Lowe. Adam, congratulations.
Thank you, Steve. As you can tell, it's been a long night, and even though this is radio, I forgot that you actually streamed this, so I'm underdressed.
No, you're just, I think people would understand.
But this is the thing. Election night was last night, and we wait for returns because you guys are the slowest decision desk on the history of the planet. But we had to have kids to school this morning. So those of us in parent land, everybody said, did you stay up late last night? No, got home, put the kids to bed, got everybody ready for school, and up and at it this morning. But yeah, thanks for letting me pop by this morning and not having to come last night.
Adam, your initial thoughts on your win in this primary?
Just gratitude in general. Our campaign team, into all the little fingers, the people that did the one thing to help us out, down to the people who every day were just kind of grinding. I look at all of those different pieces, And even though the win from a political angle was pretty good and decisive, you just don't take anything for granted. So, like I told our team last night, everybody was a part. Everybody believed in the message day one that family values matter, and they matter in good governance. That very basic ideas of respect and commitment, respect for authority, strong relationships are the strength of any community. And when people bought into that idea and bought into our campaign, I didn't get a lot of no's for months when I asked somebody for something, whether it was a financial contribution or to wave a sign or to call someone. I look back and I was just constantly, yes, be glad to, yes, be glad to, yes, be glad to. And so I just have a lot of gratitude for those relationships in life. And I think that's the strength of us going in. We know we have another election coming up in November. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to ask for everyone's vote again in November and for everyone's support. And if we can prevail in November, that's the same attitude I think we take to the Senate, because it's what I experienced with Mike and Mike Bell. And that's what I want to continue. So just very, very grateful for our team, very grateful for everybody who did the little things that made this matter.
We're joined by Adam Lowe. He won the State Senate Republican primary last night and will face Patricia Waters in November in the general election. If you were to be elected in November, what are a couple of things that you would want to get in front of here immediately in the state Senate?
We don't have a lot of time to waste on what this impact of the educational funding formula is going to look like for local governments on the financial side. There's still a lot of concerns about how the money, and it's not bad that the money has shifted, but we have old formulas in place that dictate what local governments have to kick in as far as funding, but we have new formulas dictating how the state's going to divide up its pie. Bradley County, Ray County, McMinn County, Meigs County, all of them should get a larger portion of state money, which could trigger us having to come up with more money on the local level for education. What we don't want to do is not be able to accommodate that demand. And at the very least, what I can do is give local governments a heads up of what's coming. So I think very quickly we've got to start looking at that, looking at the financial impact of the educational funding formula changes. There's some little stuff. We get the question all the time, well, what's your agenda? To serve well. That's my agenda. So that means I can't go to Nashville with a pre-programmed game plan that I'm planning to execute. I've got to go to Nashville listening to people along the way. And the nice thing about winning this primary is there are people now who I've yet to meet, yet to speak with. We've not even had those conversations, who will now come along and who are going to start advising me and telling me about things I don't know and things that I need to be more and more aware of. Those calls started coming in last night. So we'll start building the general platforms there. Serve well, serve with integrity, represent family values, and when we get to Nashville, all the other things will fall in place.
One final question. Your wife, Rachel, was so instrumental in your campaign. You and I and your wife sat down here for an interview. Talk about that. My goodness, was she involved, and as well as your children, but your wife really spoke very well for you.
Well, Rachel's just a champion in her own right. The running joke is the wrong Lowe's on the ballot, and it really is true. My wife just does not have enemies because she's one of the most kind people you'll ever meet. She's brilliant. She's articulate. She's empathetic, and we called her the nuclear option in this race because I knew I could send her to say and do things that I could never say and do for myself, and there's a comfort knowing that you have a spouse and your best friend who's running with you in a race, who's just your biggest champion. Last night after we made the call, got tired of waiting on you guys. After I took her and the kids and we went into a room just as a family, and I'll keep private what I said to my family in that moment, but I remember standing there and thinking my wife is an anchor to a family. To have a strong spouse as an anchor in any relationship. Yeah. It's part of the family values, and families look different for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. I'm just glad I have mine, right? Yeah. I'm just grateful for mine and for what she is to me. And I absolutely think it was a decision. We spent the last week of the campaign letting her speak. I had said things for months, and we asked ourselves, what have we not said? And I just said, it's time for Rachel to say her piece. And her message was simple, but concise. My husband's a hard worker. I love him. He loves me, and he's going to love you. Right? Like this, that was her message, and I think it was very strong.
Adam Lowe, congratulations to you winning the District 1 Senate Republican primary last night and on to a general election in November.
That's right.
Get some sleep.
Next time you see me here, I'll be dressed up.
Well, that's all right.
I'll pull out my little Greg Norman polo like you wear every day.
No. This is the Masters.
Is it really?
The Masters. Debbie Melton gave me this, and let me say, that is a miracle. Debbie Melton, I asked her if she was dying or something, but to do that. But anyway,
it's a beautiful shade of pink on you. I just want you to know. You look
you're
very
just
elegant this morning. Your manicure's set up for 10:30.
Yeah,
you can go on in.
I think we're going to have about the same nap time. Anyway, Adam, congratulations.
Hey, thank you, Steve.
Thank you, sir. Adam Lowe, who wins his Republican primary in the state Senate last night, District 1. Well, here is what we would invite you to do. We've been recapping election night all morning long. If you have missed any of it, go to this is why one of the main reasons we have Mixed TV is so you can go back and catch up. Go to mixedtv.tv. My sincere appreciation, and no kidding about this, to Austin Chadwick and his team last night. And of course, Austin, like the rest of us, back in here early this morning. Just a tremendous job. Tens of thousands of people watched and listened to our coverage last night. And, I kid around an awful lot on here, but in all seriousness, I cannot thank this team enough. Truly, they are the best that anybody could have. I'm obviously very tired. Austin Chadwick, Dwayne Williams, a tremendous job last night. Ashlyn Akiona. Her mom was telling us to continue kidding her that she was yawning during the broadcast. Hey, it's all right. Ashlyn, a tremendous job. Ryan Felton, Elijah Kyle, all helped us last night. If I'm missing anyone, please let me know. I don't think I am, but it was just a great evening. Thank you for all of you who listened and watched last night. We have received just an amazing amount of messages. Sheridan Mosley prepared all of our social media last evening. Josh Brewer, and of course our guys on the air last night, Shelton, Josh Rogers, Adam Lewis, and my election analyst for about 20 years now, Jimmy Logan. Tremendous job. I think we got them all covered. Emily Beatty set out last night. She was in a contested race on the ballot. She'll be back in November, and I think we're going to be hearing more from Emily Beatty very soon, I understand. All right, so that is, Bridget thinks she's being replaced. So we got an announcement coming very soon about Emily. All right, that is it for us this morning. Bridget, tell you what, one last time, let's check our celebration list this morning.
Okay, happy birthday to Kaylee Donor today. Also, Crystal Moses celebrating. Cindy Guthrie is celebrating tomorrow. That is from her coworker. Taylor and Chris Wilson, they are celebrating their first wedding anniversary tomorrow. Grayson Evans is 14 on Sunday, an 8th grader at Ocoee Middle School. That's from Mom, Dad, and brother Parker. Donna Simpson, Bradley County clerk, celebrating her birthday tomorrow. Paula Arundel at Insurance Incorporated, also having a birthday today. My friend Nicole Gibbs, Capstar Bank, celebrating her birthday today. Gail Walker is having a birthday tomorrow. Aiden Medlin is 12 years old today, a 7th grader at Lake Forest. Dr. Mark Williams having a birthday today. Beverly Morrow Johnson also having a birthday today. Cody Schroyer celebrating tomorrow. Braden Malone is 17 today, a student at Bradley Central. Noah Anderson is 2 years old today. Stacy Asbel celebrating tomorrow. That is from her husband Rusty. Melissa Martinez celebrating tomorrow. Daryl Cooper is 62 today. Ed and Sylvia Coates, they are celebrating their 56th wedding anniversary tomorrow. And Cindy Richardson with Keller Williams Williams Richardson Group is celebrating a birthday on Sunday. I believe we have a couple more on the email. Nope, already got those. All right. So call in your birthdays and wedding anniversaries to us for Monday. The volunteer Ridipest Mix line is 614-6499. You can go to our website, mymix1041.com, or download our free Mix 1041 app.
Couple of notes here, and obviously any post-election morning, Bridget, as you know, it's election dominated, and I understand that. That's what everybody's talking about, so everybody wants to know about. We have mentioned it, but it's also a very important day. Today's the first day in the Bradley County school system. They are starting today with a half day. They'll begin with a full week on Monday. Cleveland City Schools, so they're phase in next week. And so we do have that to cover. But, Bridget, I do want you to mention one more time your very special broadcast, which really gets underway here in less than 1 hour.
That's right. We'll be with our friends at South Cleveland Church of God. They will have their food truck set up in the parking lot of Church of God International offices, 25th Street at Keith Street here in Cleveland. It's called the Bishop's Barbecue and Burgers, and they're going to be set up from 10 to 2 today. They're at the Church of God International offices. 100% of the proceeds benefit the Kentucky flood victims. So come on out and have lunch with us today. They're going to be set up from 10 to 2. Come by, have some burgers and barbecue, and benefit such a wonderful cause.
And one last thing, and that is, as you go back and look, folks, the sponsors of our broadcast. Let me tell you, I would ask you to patronize these people in radio. Some people have multiple revenue streams. We have one. And those sponsors, those advertisers that you heard and saw last night and even this morning are the reason we're able to do these things. So I would ask you to thank them, to patronize them, and these are the civically minded individuals really who make this thing go, and I appreciate that. Well, folks, have a wonderful day. Bridget live from the Church of God International at 10 o'clock. Dwayne Williams will be live from my friend Reggie Tucker, his family. God bless them. They hand out backpacks and school supplies beginning at 4 o'clock this afternoon. And Reggie and Dwayne will be broadcasting live from there at 4 o'clock today. They'll be at the corner of First and Broad. I believe that's the Mosby Park area. And so we'll be there live for that. God bless all of you. Stay with us. Mix 1041 and MixTV.tv. Switch it.